Alrighty, what is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Nemesis Gaming League as we have got a special edition here to end off the night. The moment most of you guys have been waiting for. We have the Season 13 All-Star Reveal and Rockerman back in the booth, joined by the Gallium. And a Gallium, this is always a fun part of the night, a fun part of the season to get to reveal who's going to be making the All-Star matches.
Yeah, it's always a fun time. All-Star season is the best season, and I'm just excited to get these teams out into the open air. Honestly, this might be the most hyped up All-Star game I've heard of. Everyone wants to make the All-Star team, and I'm excited to see who finally makes the cut here.
Yeah, no, a lot of great players, really just a lot of great players on all leagues. It's always tough to narrow it down to only four people per league or per conference, excuse me. So only eight total players. But we tried our best. So if you haven't heard about how the All Star voting works, we got a couple different selections here for you guys. We have the fan vote, so the top winner from the fan perspective. That was the general voting that you guys all participated in. So there'll be one fan vote, one general manager selection. So the GMs can vote for anyone that's not in their org, and the GMs decided based on their votes who the best players in each conference were that weren't in their org. And then last but not least, we have the power rankings and commentator selection. So power rankers would vote for their leagues that they ranked throughout the season, and the commentators would vote for matches that they've casted as long as they've casted enough. So they got those three, and then last but not least, we have the management selection. Management will select one player as well to be on the team, and then management will also determine the starting rosters and who will be the reserve as well. So I guess without any further ado, Gallium, let's get things rolling. What everyone's been waiting for. We got the Titan League Eastern All Stars. I want to go ahead and throw them up on there for you guys. We have Kratos from Pinnacle winning the fan vote, Rocky Ears from Bananas with the GM selection, Axel, otherwise known as Bolt from Blizzard with the management selection, and then Cynical from Pinnacle with the power rankings and commentating selection, gonna slide in as the reserve. And Gallium, I'll let you talk about the West.
All right, so for the Western Conference, we have a staple in the Titan League, Bluey on the Dragons with the fan vote. The general manager selection was Marv from the Spartans. Management selection is going to be JP from Vanguard. And the power ranking slash commentator selection is going to be Brandon from Venganza, very a Titan League veteran over there. And honestly, both these teams are pretty stacked.
Yeah, no, they are very stacked. I mean, what would you expect from the Titan League? Obviously, some great players, some great performances so far. Dragons near the top of the top of the West so far. Pinnacle near the top of the East. A couple of members on there. Gallium, looking at these players, I mean, who do you like in this matchup? Who do you think's gonna take this one on Saturday night?
I'm not gonna lie. I think the duo of Kratos and Rocky Ears is just blatantly unfair. So I'm gonna go the East. I think those two can just take over a series, and they're both historically winners. So I have the East in this one.
Yeah, fair enough. I also kind of like the East, but you got a dangerous group over there. Bluey, JP, and Marv, all definitely insanely cracked players. And for Brandon to be as cracked a player as he is in the reserve, if one of those players can't make it, the reserve can sub in, and if Brandon subs in too, that's very cracked as well. So definitely gonna be a great matchup on Saturday night. That's the last matchup on Saturday. Remember, All Star festivities start at 5:30 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. We'll work up through the league, so novice first, well, I guess the GM showdown first, then novice prospect, all the way up to Titan throughout the night. So, yeah, congratulations to those winners, and we'll move right along now to the rival league East. And rival league East, we have Flip 1010 from the Pineapples with the fan vote, Kisby, who we just saw tonight with the power rankings and commentating selection, Flash with the management selection, and then Afterburner with the GM selection as the reserve there.
My gosh, yeah, that's a stacked team. But let's see what the West has for us here, as we have Landon from Lightspeed getting the fan vote here. Boy Wonder from Hydra getting the general manager vote, and Sky Newbie from the Bearcats getting the management vote, as well as Ninja Triggerman from Hydra getting the power ranking and commentator selection. What a team that is. And comparing these two teams, honestly, I have the East yet again. As much as it pains me to say, I have the East again.
Yeah, I know the East. I mean, it does look like a very good team. You get Kisby and Flip on that team, pair with Flash. I mean, Afterburner undefeated undefeated Grave Lords there, and he's the reserve. So definitely a solid team there. And then yeah, the West, a very interesting team. Landon, Boy Wonder taking the top spots. Sky Newbie filling in as the manager selection, and then Dissa as the reserve, another great player on Hydra. They've had a pretty solid season thus far. So yeah, both teams looking very good. Congratulations for sure to all the members that made it onto that team, and we'll keep things rolling. We'll move right along into the Challenger League. We have the Challenger League East. We have Zeke from Race with the GM selection, Mealy from the Griffins with the Power Rankings and commentating selection, Camden with the manager selection, and then Critter with the fan vote filling in as the reserve in the Challenger League East.
That's a good team. I know we're both in the Challenger League, so I'm interested to see how these two teams shake up. As the West, they have the man for from Venom getting the fan vote, Stites from Samurai getting the general manager vote, and Nervebot from Dissolved getting the power ranking and commentators vote, as well as Enrico from the Drakes getting that management vote. So I'm looking at these two teams, and I'm gonna have to be completely honest. I have West in a close one. I think both teams are good, but I just think Nervebot and Fort just too dangerous in terms of like pure, they can take over a game in an instant. And Stites is going to be that guy when it comes to shooting. So I have the West in probably like 5, I would say.
That's a fair thing. I think Gallion, if either one of these teams had you or me, it could be a whole different story. But unfortunately, not meant to be this season.
Yeah, I disagree, guys. I've been playing really
Yeah,
bad. So,
it,
good job, voters. Hey, you got it right.
it's been rough. It's been rough. I can
Yeah.
I can agree. It's been rough for me as well. But hey, congratulations to both these teams. I agree. It's gonna be a great matchup. That one definitely has the makings of going to five games. So we'll keep our eyes out for that one as we continue to move along now to the Prospect League East. And in the East, we have Jaegers from Ember with the fan vote. Cognition also from Ember with a GM selection. Nilla, otherwise known as Cream, on Hypernova with the management selection, and then Sheriff from Minotaurs with the power rankings and commentating selection, grabbing that reserve spot.
You know, I have to say the East is cool, but I'm really liking this West team. We have Speed Demon from the Rooks, the GM, getting the GM vote, which I think is kind of funny. Postman from the Wyverns getting that power ranking slash commentating vote, and Ace from the Rooks getting that management selection. So 2 Rooks players off the bat. Brittany the Blade from the Gladiators just returned and is now in the All-Star game. And I have to say, I'll just come out and say it. I think the West has this one in honestly pretty convincing fashion, in my opinion.
Wow. Okay. I was actually thinking the exact opposite, Gallium. I think the East can actually take this one in a pretty dominant fashion. You get 2 Ember members as well. It looks like a battle of Ember versus Rooks almost there, and then you add Cream. I like the East just a little bit more, but I mean both these teams obviously some great and well deserving players for sure in both those conferences. I think it could go either way, but I like the East for sure.
Yeah, it's not even crazy to say that, to be completely honest. I'm just I think the West just looks better overall, to be honest.
Hey, fair enough. Fair enough. We will have to see on Saturday night for that one. And then, last but not least, let's close things out with the Novice League here. Kicking things off in the East, we have Jolly Rogers from the Kiwis with the fan vote, Demoralized from the Gorgons with a GM selection, Skinny Legend from Kiwis with the manager selection, and then Mystic Kiwi also from the Kiwis with the power rankings and commenting selection in the reserve. And Gallium, these people they really loved the Kiwis this time around.
Yeah, it seems like a bunch of the people who voted might be affiliated with the Kiwis, guys. We gotta
Hmm.
we gotta check that out a little bit. But no, I mean honestly, all these players are really good. I mean, it's hard not to put them all on this list. But the West, they have some heavy hitters. As we're gonna open it up with Chunk Light from Genesis, got the fan vote here. Div from Diffusion got the GM vote. Lucky from Diffusion got the power ranking slash commentating vote, and Tizzy from the Vandals got the management selection. So both teams look great. I'm gonna have to lean towards the West yet again. I'm gonna go West. I think that Div and Lucky, they're on the same team, Diffusion, and they're both gross. And Diffusion is undefeated. If I might be
Mhm.
mistaken, but
Nope, you're correct.
they're undefeated. So pretty easy logic for me there.
Yeah, no, it's hard to go against, two members from an undefeated team, but having to add Chunk late, we'll see how they compare. I do love my boy Chunk, but I've seen a lot of times, Gallium, you get these really good teams, you get two players from the same team. I guess both of them in this case have that same problem. But you get two players from the same team, you add a different third that you're not used to. Sometimes styles can clash in the All-Star matches. So I'm curious to see how both the Kiwis players and the Diffusion players combined with their, looking to be their third player from Genesis and Gorgons respectively. So that one definitely going to be an interesting one. That one happening Saturday night as well. But Gallium, that is about it for us for this reveal. You have any final thoughts on the All Star matches and All Star night?
I think it's just going to be a great night overall. I believe it's Saturday, right? I might
Correct.
be wrong. Yes,
Yes.
yes. So we'll see all of those All Star candidates, clashing. I was in the All Star game last season, and it was super fun. So I'm glad other people get a chance to experience it. And I just think overall, all these games are going to be bangers, and that's at the end of the day what we want.
Yeah. No, I mean a lot of great players, all around. And yeah, this one is going to be this Saturday. All Star Night starts at 5:30 p.m. Eastern, so make sure you guys are around for that one. We'll kick things off with the ever popular GM Showdown. A bunch of wackiness goes on in the GM Showdown, so we're going to kick it off with that, followed by the Novice All Star match, which will start at 6, and then the matches will follow every 45 minutes after that, all the way up from Novice all the way to Titan. So we'll get all the leagues participating Saturday night. It's gonna be another fun night. Good to be back on Saturday Night Rocket League. That'll be a fun time. So make sure you guys tune in for that. And if you're a player that didn't quite make the team, but you're like I'll be available Saturday night. Make sure you guys are around because if we get two players that aren't able to make it, then management will select some subs, and a lot of time it's on availability, especially on a Saturday night. So if you're around, you could sneak your way into an All Star appearance. So make sure you guys are around Saturday night for the All Star matches. It's gonna be a great night for sure. But that is just about going to wrap it up for us. I do want to give a quick shout out to our premium subscribers before we close off the stream, especially our Challenger Plus subscribers: Cortera, Dissa, Earn, Flame Intruder, Insano, Neon's Wiggle, Ado, Fenrir, Jax, Parker, and Sato. Much love for all the support as always, keeping Nemesis running. And a very, very, very big shout out to Mr. JP, who had a huge donation over the weekend here, supporting Nemesis. Big donation, help support the league. So much love to JP. So if you guys see JP, tell him we love that guy. We love that guy JP. Big shout out JP.
Yeah,
But
he's
yeah.
my teammate, so
Oh, there we
I'll
go.
let him know. I'll let him know you said that.
There you go. Appreciate it. But we appreciate him, everyone else for hanging out with us. Galen, appreciate you as always, hanging in the booth tonight. But that is going to wrap it up for us, folks. We're going to close things off, but we will be back on or not Saturday night quite yet. I'm thinking it's Wednesday already. It's not Wednesday. It's only Monday. But we'll be back Wednesday for some more Nemesis League play action, and then we'll be back Saturday for the All Star night. So make sure you guys take care, and we will see you guys on Wednesday.